whiskey lovers, and welcome here in Belgium in Mark's basement for another one of these whiskey ramblings. And on this rather sunny afternoon, I'm taking you all the way across the pond to the United States. Yes, we are going to Kentucky to try two American whiskies. On my left hand side, your right hand side, I've got the Bernheim Original, which is a straight wheat whiskey. That tells us two things. Straight means 2 years of aging, and it's a wheat whiskey, meaning that the mash bill, the recipe, has to contain at least 51% wheat. In this case, they use a soft winter wheat for this small batch straight wheat whiskey. On the other hand, we've got the Wild Turkey Rare Breed. This is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Again, straight whiskey meaning 2 years at least in a cask, and bourbon meaning 51% of the mash bill has to be corn. Now these are two very, very different whiskies. This one is bottled at an ABV of 40%, which in American terms translates into 80 proof. This one, however, is 108.2 proof, which translates for us Europeans into 54.1% alcohol by volume. Now, a little history about the Bernheim Original maybe. The Bernheims, two brothers, Isaac Wolf and Bernard, they were lacking money but not dreams, and in the early 19th century they travelled across the pond to the United States to found in the 1870s, I believe, they founded the Bernheim distillery. Nowadays it can no longer be found. It's gone, long gone. So this Bernheim Original has been reintroduced to the market in 2005, is now created by Heaven Hill Distilleries. And Heaven Hill, as you know, is very popular, is very well known for the other brands such as Elijah Craig, Evan Williams, Rittenhouse Rye, Pikesville, that sort of stuff. On the other hand, we've got here the Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Wild Turkey is also made in Kentucky, in this case not the Heaven Hill Distillery, but the Wild Turkey Distillery, which is Austin Nichols, of course. It's part of the Campari Group since 2009, if I'm not mistaken. The Wild Turkey Rare Breed is a marriage of 6-year-old, 8-year-old and 12-year-old stocks. They are put together in a cask, married, and then bottled at cask strength. The name Wild Turkey, that's a funny story. One of the distillery managers, Thomas McCarty, in 1940, he went on a wild turkey hunting trip with some of his friends, and he had taken along for the ride a couple of cask samples from the warehouse. And the next year, in 1941, he went on a hunting trip again, but he didn't bring the whiskey. So his friends asked him, "Hey Thomas, where is that Wild Turkey whiskey?" A brand was born. Alright, so very different, as I've said, very different indeed. Let's start with the Bernheim Original, 40% ABV, a bright golden, almost amber. It has a very warm and sweet, inviting nose. Like buttered toast, you know, wheat toast, obviously. There is some wood spice in there, but it is very soft. There's no bite to it at all. It reminds me of a Sunday brunch, you know, getting up a lazy Sunday, some toasted butter, some orange juice. Yes, this is very soft and inviting. Let's see what the palate does. It's mouth-coating, but I would have expected it to be more syrupy, which it isn't. It's not watery at all, it's very creamy, but it's very nice. Again, soft and sweet. Again, there's some oak in there, some buttered corn on the cob, a lot of toffee. It's very soft, but there's absolutely no bite. There may be some, yeah, there is some oak and maybe some pepper, but really, really very soft. This is very easygoing, very soothing, very smooth. Very nice indeed. Since it came back out in 2005, Bernheim Original, being the only wheat whiskey on the market nowadays, has got quite a following, and I must admit, I'm one of them. I think this is a very, very nice American whiskey, much nicer than the regular that you will find in supermarkets. Right, the rare breed then. Like I said, this is a cask strength rare breed, cast strength wild turkey. 54.1, so approach with caution, approach with respect. This one clings to the glass. And it's a tad darker than the Bernheim original, not much, but there is a tad of amber in there that is a bit darker than the Bernheim. The nose is soft again. It's oaky, but it's very, very, how shall I put this? It's got peaches and oranges and dates in there. Some old leather maybe. A hint of mint. Did I actually say that? A hint of mint. Love it. there's an edge of rye in here. Some old leather. It's pretty spicy too, though. After a while, the spices emerge. This is nice. Wow, this is a very massive attack with a very deep, sweet demerara sweetness, dark brown sugar, old leather again. It's fruity on raisins, maybe even some oranges in there. Very spicy. It's a grand whiskey, giving you. It's a very generous whiskey, very bold whiskey. Wow, this is. Whew. And the finish, while the Bernheim original was clean and short, this one is very long and warm. Got some nuts. Excuse me, some nuts in the finish. Some toast, some licorice maybe. It's very complex. There's a lot going on, and you've got a bit of honey and cocoa at the death. Wow. Well, like I said, you can hardly compare them. These are two different American whiskies, both created in Kentucky. This one used to be near Louisville, this one near Lawrenceburg. Nowadays, Heaven Hill, Austin Nichols, very different. This one is very soft. I would say, if I were a religious man, which I'm not, but I would say this is the angel in a bottle, while this, on the other hand, is a very generous, big and powerful. This is the devil in a bottle. So I've got an angel and a devil. Which is my preference? Well, it depends on the mood. I like them both very much indeed. These are very worthwhile American whiskies. If you're ever out there, do try the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. I've been told it's very nice, and you will encounter the Wild Turkey Distillery as well. Two very nice Americans. And that's all for this Whiskey Rambling. Thank you for joining me. See you again at the next one. Until then, may the malt be with you. Bye-bye.